So the Black Bulls defeating Morris in the latest chapter was extremely significant. With zero difficulty, it didn't even need all the Black Bulls to be there to defeat Morris. With Morris defeated and the Dark Triad also gone as well, it seemed as though everything is going in the right direction for the Magic Knights. But the way that chapter 313 ended, I truly don't think that's the case at all. For Tabata to end this chapter showing the gate is still opening, I think Tabata is trying to tell us that things are only going to get worse. Now for the Viz translations for Shonen Jump, they never show the editor's comments at the end of the chapter. But in the unofficial chapters, we see the editor's comments and he says, the long-awaited reunion, ... However, the editor's comments lets us know that this isn't over, and if Lucifero comes out, things are going to get crazy. But before we dive any further in this bizarre topic, I need y'all to get crazy on that subscribe button with notification bells on and leaving a like on this video. I appreciate it so much. Now that you've done that, let's get into it. Now, despite Morris' embarrassing defeat against the Black Bulls, one thing that you can't deny is that this man pretty much succeeded on what he tried to do by opening the second gate. And not just the second gate, but literally everything else. Number one is the significance of the Candelo. We saw that the Spade Kingdom was making many of these magic fortresses, but we didn't know why. We truly thought that they were only stealing the mana from the citizens of the Spade Kingdom just to move through the Grand Magic Zone. But that was only part of it. The true reason we find out from Morris was that they were collecting the magic from the citizens of the Spade Kingdom for the ritual to activate for the Tree of Cliftoff, which lets us know that there are legit key components that are just more than Yami and William for the advent for the Tree of Cliftoff. Their magic is just the catalyst for it. And the Dark Triad going 100% to help in their battle against the Magic Knights. None of this would have ever took place if Morris didn't extract the wisdom from Lord Bachika that was passed down from the previous Heart Queens, which is 1200 years of knowledge. This was the turning point for the Dark Triad and Morris. Him doing this allowed the process for the gates to the underworld to open much faster, because through the knowledge he discovered a way to accelerate the Tree of Cliftoff. Then once we get to Morris' fight, even though it was off screen with him and Dorothy and also Lotus, he was strong enough to hold them off and they couldn't do a thing to him, and revealed to us that he is nothing but a messenger for Lucifero, which was indeed true, because Lucifero mentioned that he would be coming out and emerging out of the second gate, which is very scary to think about, because in this exact same chapter, Julius mentioned that something isn't right. It's as if something is about to emerge, which is not a coincidence, because something is definitely about to emerge. Morris mentioned that with his modification magic, he was able to modify the Tree of Cliftoff placements, and he no longer needs the Dark Triad, only the life cores of Yami and William. But apparently after his defeat, he's no longer needed as well, only Yami and William, which is very terrifying, because if Lucifero comes out the second gate, who exactly is going to stop this guy? Nock mentioned that if Lucifero somehow was able to come out, it is the end of the world. In other words, Nock is saying that in our current state, there is no way we can beat this guy at all. And if you was to look at the current state of the Magic Knights right now in this arc, they are already exhausted. There isn't much they can do. From what we understand, Mereoleona is still fighting this ancient demon and is absorbing the mana. So right now, even if she was to defeat the ancient demon, she will be extremely exhausted. And her not being arcane, she's having a tougher time trying to finish this off. So right now she's occupied if Lucifero was to come out. Now, would it be beneficial if Fagolian was to show up and help her? Maybe. The problem is that Fagolian's magic isn't enough to take out low-ranking devils using Salamander's breath. After that attack, we saw the devils were still coming out of the flames and Fagolian was surprised. From what we've seen so far, he can only crowd control and hold them at bay until he reached a Saint stage level with his Salamander. But we do know that Leopold certainly has gotten stronger with his true magic and now ultimate magic, which we saw him take out low-ranking devils with true magic. It's very possible that with ultimate magic, his magic may be enough to help out Mereoleona, because I can see the Vermilion family helping out each other, taking out this ancient demon. That would be dope. Regardless though, if that were to happen, they will be occupied if Lucifero comes out right now. Last time we saw Jack the Ripper before he took out Dante, he was extremely low on mana, so I don't see him right now being that much of a help. I think he's extremely exhausted right now. We saw Charlotte and Real during that tough fight with Megicula. They used so much mana. Even though Real and Charlotte has been healed, I don't see them doing much if Lucifero was to come out, because their mana is also low. And same for Gaja. Nozilla Noel, they use a ton of magic in their fight against Megicula, so they are on their last leg after being healed. So there's no telling how much they can do if Lucifero was to come out. Yuno just had the toughest fight of his life, but we already know that right now he's probably getting healed by Mimosa, so currently if Lucifero was to come out, he cannot help at the moment. Now of course we do have Snowman, Sally, Rades, Voltos, and Seke, but they have their own role outside the castle, fighting off and protecting everyone else. Now last time we saw Patry, he was near the castle, so he might show up and help out in this fight, which would be a huge deal because Patry is a huge ally to have on your team. So far, he's the only confirmed elf we see show up in this fight, but it would be nice to see Raya, Vettel, and Fauna. They would be a massive help. But currently right now, if Lucifero was to come out the second gate, this would be a huge handicap for the Black Bulls and especially Asta. As strong as Asta may be, there is nothing he can do to Lucifero without Devil Union. Right now, Asta's Devil Union is at a cooldown because his body is in pain. However, we did see in previous arcs that Nero used her sealing magic to seal Asta's damage, which allowed him to go black form again. Which honestly, it can happen again this time around. However, I don't see Asta defeating Lucifero in 5 minutes in this form. It's just not gonna happen. He wasn't even fast enough to catch the fused twins, even though once he landed a hit on them, they were done. But these were low level compared to Lucifero. This will 100% be Asta's and the Black Bulls' toughest fight yet, and probably the biggest devil battle. And if Lucifero comes out, I don't think this will be good for Liba at all. If Liba sees Lucifero, he's going to remember the memories of Lisita, the only person that took care of him. And there's no question that Liba is going to be very afraid, but he may rage out because he wants revenge. Because of what Lucifero did to Lisita, it's going to be impossible for Liba to keep his emotions intact. And Asta may be very confused on why Liba is acting this way when he wasn't acting like that towards any other devils. And Asta is very self-aware on reading people's emotion because he can read Ki, so he would know exactly what Liba is feeling. And who knows, but during this time, Asta may find out exactly who his mother is by Liba. However, to prevent any other devil, besides if it's Lucifero or anyone coming out of the second gate, we know that Nox said by destroying the tree of Cliftoff by anti-magic, it could work. It could stop this whole thing. However, it will kill Yami and William in the process. And Asta could do it with his Demon Destroyer's sword. And it has been foreshadowed and been set up to be that case. Back in chapter 189, Elf Ghost stated that a convenient power that can make it as if nothing ever happened for free. Do you think that exists? Actions come with consequences. There's no getting around that. If you remember nothing else, keep that in mind. Human. That was one of the most impactful lines in the Elf arc. Tabata added this line for a reason, which definitely could be a foreshadowing to what's to come in this arc right now. Asta is able to erase things with his Demon Destroyer's sword for free, with zero consequences. Elf Ghost told Asta that if you don't remember anything else, remember this: there will be consequences. The Magic Knights fighting off Lucifero, they will not be 100%. This will be indeed Asta's toughest fight. So he will make a decision whether he destroy the tree or not. If Asta destroys the tree, there will be a consequence. If he doesn't, there will still be a consequence because Lucifero is going to go rampage. This will be the biggest decision that Asta will have to make: kill Yami and William by destroying the tree, or risk the fact that everyone else can die if Lucifero isn't defeated. The only middle ground here is Lucifero's defeat. Now, there's still a lot that's connected to Yami before he actually dies. Charlotte hasn't confessed her love yet, and we still haven't seen the Land of the Sun. However, I still think that the Black Bulls can still go to the Land of the Sun, even if Yami isn't present. That could be something that Yami mentions before he dies to the Black Bulls. However, I am 50-50 split on the death of Yami, if he actually dies or if he actually lives. For now, we are in the waiting game, but it would be awesome to see Asta, Noelle, and Yuno team up against Lucifero. However, I still don't think that's enough. The beginning title of this saga when it started was called The Beginning of Hope and Despair, and so far we've been seeing a lot of hope. A lot of things been working out for their favor, but I think we are now leading to despair. And you guys should also be leading to that subscribe button with notification bells on. Check out my other videos on my playlist if you like videos like this. As always, you guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves, stay blessed, and I'm out.